Hey, what's good, good people? I am Travell C.W. Lynch, Mr. What, and welcome to the I Am the Possible universe. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Listen, you guys are so special to me. Before I get into anything else, I want to give special shout outs and salutes to anyone who is live on this broadcast and anyone who is watching the replay. Before I even finish my introduction, guys, I want to express my appreciation to you. It is all about you guys. I am showing up and I'm going to show out today for you. So thank you so much for rocking with me this morning. If you are live or on the replay, as I always say, guys, your presence is the greatest present that you could ever give to me. Now, let me continue with the intro. Welcome into the I Am the Possible universe. I am Travell C.W. Lynch, and I help to revive your hope for what's possible. I am a self-worth specialist. I am specializing in the value, the worth, the significance of your very life. And this month, guys, we are focusing on how to finish what we start. And I think that learning and knowing and continuing to discover your value in life, your value in any situation, in any given situation, helps to give you that motivation and helps to give you that inspiration that you need to be able to see that thing through. So guys, if you're rocking with me today, this is going to be part two of a 4-week series, right? Although there's 5 weeks in this month, we're going to be only really tackling 4 weeks with one off week because I'll be on vacation. All right. Your boy got to get some rest. So let's jump into today's content, guys. If you are someone who is struggling in the area of finishing what you start, right? If you're someone who knows how to burst out the gate, you know how to get things rocking, you know how to get things rolling, but you struggle with getting over that finish line. You struggle with getting through and to the point where it is complete. You start, but you don't know really how to complete the task. If that's you, then I want you to know that you are in the right place. Guys, I'm going to begin to share my screen here, jump into some of these slides, and just get right into this thing this morning. If I can bring it up here, let me check. Let me go back over here, make sure that I am good. Let me see. There we go. And boom, we are here. Guys, as I'm getting into this content, if you're joining me, if you're just now joining me, please drop me a good morning, a hello, a how you doing, a what's going on, what's good, a peace sign. Give me something. Let me know that you're rocking with me this morning. Let me know that you're in the building. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I love to know where people are tuning in from, different time zones. I know people, where I'm at in California, it's 7 o'clock in the morning, but wherever you are, you may be in a different time zone. And it's always good to just know when people are up and when people are alert, when people are in the learning mode. Because if need be, I can make an adjustment, right? Because I want to show up and better serve you guys. All right, guys, this week, it is how to finish what you start. This is going to be part 2, guys. This is going to be part 2. Now, let me get over here to my, there we go, to my slide here. The first thing that we want to share, first thing I want to share this week is, again, an overview of really what it is that we're doing, right? I'm sharing some very easy to follow steps that anyone can utilize to improve their ability to see a project, a task, a plan, a goal through to completion. We are in the business of completing what we start. And today I'm going to be sharing 3 more steps, 3 more things that anybody can utilize to get the job done. Number 1, guys, something I call master your matrix of meanings. Master your matrix of meanings. Guys, I don't know if you know this or not, but we live in a society of meanings. We live in a society of meanings, okay? Let me share. Let me minimize my screen here just so I can talk to you a little bit. Guys, we have either adopted or we have assigned a meaning to virtually anything and everything in our lives. Now, how we go about adopting, it could be through exposure of an environment. It could be the people that we hang around. It could be the people that we know. It could be family members. It could be just ear hustling, things that we hear other people say, things that we hear other people express, right? Things that we see happening in the world. We can adopt a meaning to a situation. For example, let me give you a personal example. I grew up early on in my formative years, early on in my life. I went through a lot of emotional abuse, right? I was bullied, I was picked on, I was alienated, I was always pushed out. I was always either, as they say, either last picked or wasn't picked at all, right? And so because of what I experienced and because of what the other kids said to me often, for whatever reason, right? I then I assigned a meaning to myself, right? I started to believe, I started to say, I'm not accepted. And I began to live through and operate through the idea that I'm not accepted. So that meaning that I associated, that meaning that I assigned to what was going on in my life, I'm not worthy of love. I'm not accepted. I'm no good. I'm worthless. I'm a throwaway, right? Many of you guys have heard my story when, I had that gun put to my head and I was willing to give up my life for $120 bag of weed. I mean, that was like the the point where I was at my lowest, but it had been building over time because I had assigned a meaning to myself, which was you're worthless. No one's going to miss you. Your life doesn't matter, right? Who are you, right? Who are you to succeed? Who are you to have a great life? Whatever the meaning was, I was living through this matrix of meanings, and I use this analogy of the Matrix. You ever see the Matrix? The very first one, I think it's about 2 or 3 of them, but the very first one, right? And I think it was the opening scene where Neo is in front of that, computer screen, and he sees all the little green dots and everything, and he's just staring at it, and he's trying to figure out the rhythm, trying to figure out the code, right? Many times there are things that are happening, but we're unaware of it. Many times there's things that are happening, but we're unaware of it. Now, when all those green dots were up and down that screen, Neo in that moment could not interpret what was happening. But on that screen, there was definitely something happening in the background. And then later on, he took the blue pill or the red pill. His eyes was open to the reality of what was really happening, right? Guys, we live in a matrix where we don't know what's really happening. There's some things in the background, so to speak. There's some things psychologically. There's some things subconsciously that are happening to us. And how this relates to finishing what you start. Many times, guys, our meanings, whether we've adopted them or whether we've assigned them ourselves, those meanings, they show up in the course of the project or the task or the goal. And when they show up, right, when they spring up on you, those meanings can usually derail you, slow you down, deflate you, depress you in some cases. But they will stunt your growth if they're not working for you. If those meanings that you associate to something, if they're not in your best interest, if they're not for your good, if they're not working for you, if they're not working with you, when those meanings show up, they can sabotage. Now, here's what I wanted to share is that number one, we understand that we assign a meaning to a thing. Nothing is inherently good or bad. It just is. Tony Robbins puts it this way, acknowledge something for what it is, but don't make it bigger than what it is. Acknowledge something for what it is, but don't make it bigger than what it is. And so in the course of completing your goal, your task, your whatever your thing is, your project, when things occur, when things happen, when we fail, when we come up short, when it doesn't work out the way that we think that it should work out, when things spring up and they kind of frustrate you or kind of derail you momentarily, temporarily, we have an opportunity, because we understand that we assign meanings, we give it meaning, we do that. If you own the idea that you assign a meaning, when you're in the midst of your task, the next time something comes up, guess what? You get to take a step back, acknowledge that you are about to assign that thing a meaning, and you can assign it something that works for you and not against you. That's the matrix. The matrix is not being aware that you are the assigner, you are the adopter of meaning. And whatever you assign that thing, whatever meaning you've adopted, that's going to determine how you move forward, or if you move forward. I hope that makes sense. If that makes sense, drop me a "that makes sense." Hashtag "that makes sense," guys, whether you're live or on the replay. So understanding that we're in this matrix, and understanding that we can now begin to assess what it is that we've assigned, or we can assess what it is that we've adopted, and we can adjust, right? If you're taking notes, it's assess and adjust, assess and adjust, adjust if applicable, right? All of my A's, right? Assess what you've assigned and adopted, right? And if applicable, adjust it. Right? That's a lot of A's right there, right? I just came up with that, right? But that's a simple formula. I'm about solutions. I'm about formulas. I'm about these strategies that are going to help you to finish what you start. Okay, so I'm gonna say that one more time just so that it sticks for me, right? Right? When something comes up in the midst of you on the journey of your goal, your dream, the thing that you're working toward, something comes up. It looks to derail you. It looks to throw you off. Sit back, step back, assess it. Remember what Tony Robbins says: acknowledge what it is, but don't make it bigger than what it is. Okay, so we're going to assess what we want to assign it. Assess possibly what you've already adopted as a meaning for that thing, because it may be a reoccurrence. If applicable, we're going to adjust. If it doesn't work for you, adjust it. If it does work for you, then just continue in it, right? Because it's working for you, right? But that's one of the things that will definitely trip us up, is our matrix of meanings. All right, let me jump to this next one, guys. Number 2. I like this one here. Set your daily deadlines, guys. This is another one that trips us up. Setting daily deadlines, or I should say the lack thereof deadlines, right? I'm trying to think of a famous quote. I had a quote. I don't know who said it, right? Possibly many people said it, but it's something to the effect of a dream without goals, right? Was it a dream without goals? Is basically just a fantasy. It's something that's never going to occur. Right? It's an idea, but it's never going to come to fulfillment. You're never going to manifest that thing. Why? Because you have a goal, right? But you don't, you have a dream, but you don't set little incremental goals, right? And so this setting of your daily deadlines, not, you can have long-term timelines, a month and a half, 2 months, and 2 months, whatever it is, 3 months. You can also have daily deadlines. And if you're taking notes, I want to share with you a very specific thing that I do, that's not only daily, but it's also something that I do kind of hourly when I'm working towards my goals and my dreams. Now, up in the upper right hand corner, you can see a famous picture from a movie, one of my favorite movies. And here, even as a tagline, focus, power, Daniel San. I want to share. Let me see. I think I can share my screen. Let me reshare here. I want to go to a video here. I want to actually show the video I think I can do that. Let me show that here. I think I got it. I think I got it. I think I can. I think I can. All right. Let me see. I actually want to show this video really quick, and then I'll come right back to you. Oh, that's classic. Come on, somebody. That's classic, man. That's classic juice right there. Come on, somebody. Come on now. That's come on. That's classic juice right there, baby. I don't know if you are a Mr. Miyagi fan, a Karate Kid fan, but guys, I had to stop sharing the screen because I just got too excited. Listen, that's pure magic right there. That boy said, focus, Daniel-san. Many of us are not completing what we start because we lack focus. And focus is something that many of us lack because we don't set daily disciplines, daily deadlines. We'll say, oh, I want to achieve X, Y, and Z this year. Now that's good. That's a good start. But again, we're all great starters, but not many of us are great finishers. See, that's a very broad statement. That's a very generic statement. I'm going to finish this thing this year. I'm going to put a new roof on my house this year. I'm going to run a marathon this year. I'm going to save, $10,000 in my bank account for my emergency fund this year. And you may throw it out in a year. You may even say 5 years, but you give yourself so much gap, so much room, so much space that it's the opposite of being rigid and too restricted. Now you're too loose. You're too general. You're too all over the place, and you lack focus, right? Like a laser beam. That light, same light, but it's concentrated. It's a disciplined light. Whereas I can flash a light. I got lights all around me right now, right? Just lighting up this area, but it's a broad light. But if I took all these lights and I drilled it down to a single light, now I can burn through some paper, right? Because I've concentrated it. I've focused the power of the light. These lights have power. And I want you to understand something. You have power. You have power. You have power to finish it. You have power to follow through. You have power to finish what you start. But if you don't apply focus, if you don't get focused, if you don't move some things out of your life, which we're about to get into with point number 3, but I won't jump the gun. If you don't get focused, you'll never finish. Somebody drop me a hashtag. If I don't focus, I won't finish. Right? Or hashtag focus and finish. Focus and finish. So we saw Daniel-san. So Daniel-san here, let me share again for those of you who have visuals. Let me pull up the screen again here. Show it. Booyah. All right, guys. Set your daily deadlines. Here's something that I want you to do. If you are taking notes, here's the dealio. Here's the dealio. If you're taking notes, here's something that I do, right? Let me show my, yeah. One of the things that I do is I take the larger goal, right? Let's say, for example, I love running, right? Let's say you say, I'm going to run a marathon. Well, let's say a half marathon, because now I can speak from integrity. I've ran a half marathon. Half marathon is 13.1 miles. Okay, 13.1 miles. I did that. Okay. So what I started off with was obviously my first mile, right? But I want to give you this very simple formula on how we break down these daily goals or these daily deadlines. Okay. So I'm going to run a marathon. I'm going to run my half marathon in 3 months from now. So for today, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take out my phone and I'm going to start with a 15-minute timer, literally a 15-minute timer. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with the 15-minute timer, and I'm going to give myself 15 minutes to run a mile. Now you can apply this however you need to apply it, but I'm just giving you my example so I can speak from integrity. I'm going to give myself 15 minutes. I'm going to time it. I'm going to set that timer, and I'm going to attempt to run a mile. Within that 15 minutes, I'm going to run as far as I can. When I do that, there is something, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know where it came from. I didn't come up with it. I don't know. All I can tell you is from my experience, there's something magical about 15-minute increments. It's just something magical. I don't know. Try it. All I can tell you is try it, right? Like anything, all I can do is tell you, hey, this is what works for me, and it may work for you. I give myself a 15-minute block. If you are working on a project on your job, and let's say you have to write up a project plan, give yourself 15 minutes, set that alarm, and something magical happens in the brain. It focuses. Daniel-san, focus. You become Daniel-san, and you put a little Mr. Miyagi on your shoulders, right? Come on, y'all. Use your imagination. You put a little Mr. Miyagi on your shoulder, and you, Daniel-san, focus. By setting a 15-minute block of time, whatever the task is, running a mile, which will eventually get me conditioned to run 13, or writing a paper for my project, or if you're in school, right, and you're doing a research paper, right? I don't know what your thing is. Maybe you're writing a book. You're going to give yourself 15 minutes to write a freaking chapter. Well, you say, well, wait a minute, 15 minutes to write a chapter, that's impossible. All I'm telling you to do is begin to give yourself 15 minutes, setting up an alarm that's going to go off, that's going to create a sound. This is a practical step. This is something I've been doing for years. I've written 2 books this way. I've accomplished many things in my life with the 15-minute rule, man, a 15-minute block of time. And you chunk that up throughout the day. You give yourself 15 minutes to do that thing. And when that alarm goes off, you give yourself 3 minutes to step away from that thing. And then you give yourself 15 more minutes again. And then when that alarm goes off, 3 minutes to step back. And then again. And then 3 minutes step back. And then one more 15 minutes. What I'm saying is you can accomplish so much in 1 hour. Many of us don't accomplish much in 24 hours because we're not focused. You can accomplish so much if the hour is focused, guys. Set it. I should have changed this because I put set your daily deadlines. Yes, but really, maybe I should, tweak this title because it's really more about these 15-minute increments. That was really the idea that I had in mind. Even when I shared the video, it was more about, drilling down to very focused moments. So let's consider that a typo. Let's consider that I'm going to rename this, but set your daily deadlines, maybe set your hourly deadlines. But the point is that each day matters and you want to maximize your day. You don't want to go a whole day unfocused because now you are draining yourself of energy. You are wasting of your precious time. You are frustrating yourself and you are conditioning resentment. Those are just some other factors that go into this, guys, right? But the point that we're sharing today is if you get focused, you concentrate your power. Power by definition is the ability to move things, or in this case, move things forward, move the needle on your goals and your dreams, moving things forward, right? But we got to get focused, guys. Focus your power, Daniel-san. All right. Last one, guys. Last one. My favorite one. Clear the clutter. That's right. Clear the clutter, man. Bruce Lee says, hack away at the non-essential. Bruce Lee says, and I love my boy Bruce. Bruce Lee, you can say Bruce Leroy. I'm dating myself. Last Dragon, baby. I'm dating myself. That Last Dragon. Man, my head all crooked today, man. What's going on with that, man? What's going on with the hat? Just kind of caught a glimpse of myself in the camera there. All right, guys, check it out. Listen. Clear the clutter, man. Let me enlarge that again for those of you who are taking notes. Clear the clutter, hack away at the non-essential. Guys, this is a big one. This is a big one. Many of us are not finishing what we start. We're not accomplishing our goals. We're not accomplishing our dreams. We're not following through because we are clutter-brained. We are clutter-brained, meaning clutter in the mind, and we are cluttered body, meaning cluttered physically all around us, right? But there is clutter, guys. There is clutter. So we want to talk about clearing the clutter on the physical level where you are, and we want to clear the clutter psychologically, right? Emotionally, right? Mentally. I'm gonna stop sharing for a minute. You guys can't see my whole desk area right here. Okay, let me take a step back. Guys, I don't know how many times I'm going to repeat this, but I just feel always compelled to, to share this. I don't teach on hearsay. I don't teach because I read one of these books behind me real fast, and now I just want to regurgitate. I didn't watch a YouTube video and then got all gassed up, and then I want to teach you. Everything that I'm teaching you, everything that I'm sharing with you, is life giving life. I'm a product of this. I'm living this. I'm breathing this. So I'm not going to share with you something because it's good in theory. If I haven't done it, if I haven't trained it, if I haven't lived it, if I haven't produced good results, if I can't teach it from integrity, then I'm not going to share it with you. Guys, I've this whole clearing the clutter, I've done this myself just recently. This desk, you can't see my desk here, but this desk here, this area back here, right, which is my little makeshift office, guys, it had papers all over the place, right? I'm gonna just be 100 with you. I had papers all over the place. I had electronic stuff, wires and cords and lights and, attachments all over the place. You feel me? I had bottled waters all over the place. I had, just everything, just stuff. You know how we just accumulate stuff. I had a bunch of stuff. And I would come over here and I would try to work on my next message, or I would try to work on my next course, or I would try to work on my next thing. And I was finding that I was like getting drained, like seriously drained of my energy, right? And I was always wondering, like, man, I'm just tired before I even start sometimes. And I'm not a quote messy person by nature, right? I actually love the idea of less is more, but just over time, man, just the hustle and bustle of life, man, just going and blowing, just without, we just accumulate stuff. And before you know it, it just piles up. You didn't intend to, you didn't mean to, but it just piled up on you. Can you guys relate to that? Somebody drop me a hashtag, I relate. If you know something about that clutter game, hashtag I relate. You just accumulate stuff. So I accumulated a bunch of stuff around here, and I'm going through it, man. It's like, man, I can't even breathe. I can't even get, relaxed. I can't even finish my stuff. And I had a little downtime this past week, and I said, man, I'm gonna clear out this area, man. I'm gonna just clean my desk. I got myself a new computer. I haven't even opened it up yet, but just got myself a new computer and a new setup for the stuff that I'm creating. And I said, yeah, I'm gonna just clean this area, man, right? I saw my desk collecting dust. I said, man, I'm gonna just wipe down some of this dust. I'm gonna clean my area. Guys, I can't even tell you. These last 3 days, dude, I have been so creative. I've gotten so much accomplished. And obviously there's other factors, but a clean desk, a clean working area, space to breathe and move and stretch, and it has made all the difference. It has made all the difference. So one of the reasons that we're not finishing what we start is because we're depleted. We're drained of our energy because we're cluttered. We're cluttered brain. I'm not going to even go down that path. There's so much to say about that. Meaning you have accumulated so much information. You're so inundated, right? A couple of broadcasts back, we talked about the inundation of information. So much input, so much stimuli, so much information. You're like a ping pong. You're like what's the name of that game where we used to go back to the arcades and we pull the little thing back and it popped the little ball and it goes through the machine, right? I totally forgot what that's even called. But you're like that little ball in that machine. You're just all over the place, right? If someone knows what that little ball is, somebody drop that in the somebody drop that in the comments for me. But that little ball bouncing all over the place. That's how we look inside here. And we can't like Mr. Miyagi, we're not focused, right? Daniel-san, you're not focused. So we're all over the place, scattered, cluttered in the mind. But then that translates to being scattered and cluttered in the physical. And so whether you're cluttered here in the mind or whether you're cluttered here in the physical, that will slow you down. That will drain your energy. That will prevent you from completing your goal or your task. Now, let me share with you guys something that I found very interesting. I came across in my research here, I came across some, here, let me share that one. Let me go back over here. Sorry about that, guys. All right. Check this out. Check this out, guys. This is what some research says about clutter, guys. This is what some research says about clutter. Clearing the clutter, guys. Clearing the clutter. Okay. Check this out. Let me get back. Here we go. Clearing away the clutter brings immediate visual peace to a space. And that by itself can give you an energy boost. Now, just a minute ago, I was telling you my energy was drained. And I don't know if you can relate to this, right? Has your energy been drained because you just got stuff all over the place, right? Think about your bedroom, right? I'm gonna get real personal, right? Sometimes it's one of them weeks, man. It's just one of them weeks where you just going and you hustling and you just got stuff going on. And before you know it, your room is a mess. You got clothes on the floor, you know, towels in the bathroom, you know, stuff all scattered. You know, you ain't made your bed in a while. Your bedroom is a mess. Well, you know, when you walk in there, you're like instantly drained. You're frustrated. You don't know where things are. It tires you out. It wears you out. The same thing with your car. I don't know if you guys have ever, you know, had a junky car, right? I've been guilty of that. I guess today is just confessional day, right? But I've had a junky car before, right? Again, it wasn't my intention to have a junky car. But again, you just going and going and going. You accumulate stuff and you get in the car and, you know, you're headed to work, let's say, for example. And, you know, the car got your hat in the back seat, you know, you got some clothes hanging up, you got some extra pair of shoes somewhere, you got some, you know, bags from a fast food restaurant. I don't know, right? But the car is a mess. It's full of stuff. It's cluttered. And because it's cluttered, you're drained before you ever even get to where you're going. It's draining you of your energy. It's draining you of your precious energy that you would use to implement your goal and your dream and to go forward in the things that you've, you know, made for yourself. But instead, you are already tired before you ever get to the job, or you're tired before you ever get to the location because you're not aware of it. But check this out. According to a study in the Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin, people with cluttered homes, bedrooms, or cars, or offices, right? Just fill in the blank, full of unfinished projects, or AKA stuff, were more depressed, fatigued, and had higher levels of the stress hormone cortisol than those who describe their home, cars, bedroom, offices, you fill in the blank, as restful and restorative. In other words, they had less. They were working with less, but they had more energy. Guys, step number 3, a very practical step. Clean up. Clean up the clutter, man. If you are in a house full of mess, clean that sucker up. If your car is full of mess, clean that sucker up. If your office is full of mess, clean that sucker up. If your bedroom is full of mess, clean that sucker up. If there's any area in your life that is full of junk, clean that sucker up. Whatever it is, hashtag clean that sucker up. That's right. I'm telling you, go clean up. Give it a good scrub. That goes for your mind as well. Because some of us got some cluttered minds, man. We're thinking about too much. We've consumed too much. You need to go pray. You need to go release. You need to let go. You need to get some rest. You need to let your mind get still and silent. You need to go on a social media fast. You need to go on a YouTube fast. You need to go on a podcast fast. Sometimes information, too much of it, too much of anything, right, can just be, have negative impacts, right? So you just need to put a pause, man, on the consumption and give yourself, go for a walk, man. Go for a walk and just breathe. Don't think about nothing. Leave the phone at home, right? Maybe you needed permission. Well, here's the permission. Leave your phone at home. Kiss your wife, kiss your husband. Tell them, listen, I love you. I'm going for a 15-minute walk, right? That's back to our 15-minute increments. I'm going for a 15-minute walk, or I'm going to sit on the porch and just enjoy the air, do something, but freaking clear your mind. Get away from your phone, get away from Netflix, get away from, whatever, man, and go chill, man. Go chill, get away from all that. Give yourself a break, guys. Give yourself a break, okay? Last one, a study in Princeton University found clutter to decrease participants. And here, I know you guys may not be able to read that with me here. Let me enlarge it on your side. All right, check this out. Study by Princeton University found clutter to decrease participants' productivity. Messy surroundings compete for your attention while distracting you from your to-do list. Now, guys, I have made a million videos about the to-do list. This is in context, because if we talk about one context, then the to-do list will drain you and you need to go get some rest and some serenity and give yourself a break. In this context, the to-do list is good. You want this series is about productivity. We're about accomplishing. We're about finishing the race. We're about crossing the finish line. So now you have your to-do list. You've got the goals and the dreams and the things that you want to accomplish. This is telling you, this study from this university is telling us, guys, if you are messy, if you have a messy surrounding, it's actually competing for your attention. See, when I had that messy desk, when I had this messy work area, guess what I was doing? I was looking at the things around me. I was considering. See, anytime you look at something, your mind will consider it. Your mind will give a meaning to it. Your mind will think about it. Your mind will process it. One thing I know about the mind is that it never, ever, ever shuts off. The mind never, ever, ever shuts off. It's always working. So if you got a ton of stuff around you, right? If you have a ton of stuff around you, then your mind is always thinking. It's always processing. It's always trying to analyze. It's always trying to problem solve. It's always trying to do something. So here you are with your goal. I'm going to start my new website, right? Actually, guys, I'm truly speaking from experience. I'm literally right now in the process of cutting over my website, right? Whole new website, whole new training situation, about to do this thing, right? Whole new setup. And I sit down to do the cutover. Guys, the cutover will literally take me 15 minutes. That's right. I love my 15-minute increments. I promise you, to create a page on my website, it would take me about 15 minutes or less. I promise you that, 15 minutes or less. Now, if I got all those things, right? If I got all those things around me and I'm considering all these things, right? I'm looking at my bottled water. Should I drink it? Should I not? I'm looking at a pen. Oh, should I put that back on my desk? Oh, I'm looking at my cell phone. Should I check Instagram? Right? I'm looking at, I don't know, just you got stuff, right? And your mind is processing, it's thinking it through. When you go to move your mouse, if you got to reach over something, I'm just trying to give you as many very real life practical examples to let you know that if your area is messy, then that mess is competing for your attention. And if you are divided, right? You know how to slide some Bible in here, right? If you're waiting for the Bible, here's the Bible, guys. Here's the Bible right now. Okay, I'm about to give you some Bible right now. A house divided cannot what? A house divided cannot what? Where are my Bible scholars, right? A home divided, a person divided, a mind divided. It can't do what? It can't stand. It can't stand. It can't endure. It can't continue. It can't see the finish line because you're divided. So you're competing. And whenever you compete, whenever you compare, whenever you divide, and that's why the enemy's job and his strategy has always been division, because he knows that division weakens you. Well, now put it in your context. You have a divided mind. Oh yeah, that's Revelation. Oh yeah, that's Revelation. You have a divided mind. Well, if you have a divided mind, then you have a weakened mind. That's why singularity of thought is so difficult. That's why true mental integrity is so critical and so difficult to achieve. You know, many of the world's famous motivational speakers, gurus, they always say, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? That's a magical question. And it has been used for 1 million YouTube videos, 1 million public speeches, 1 million Toastmaster speeches, 1 million, $10,000 speaking engagements. The what do you want question. Why is that question continuing to be so popular and continuing to be the platform for many, many world-class speakers and speeches all around the world every single year? Because it's so difficult to achieve. What do I want? See, that requires singularity. That's why I love God. He said, let us create. Let us. That was the first example of agreement, of cohesiveness. Let us. God didn't say let me. He said let us. That is more than one. So he showed us an example. Oh, this is all fresh bread. This ain't nothing I prepared for. This is all fresh bread. God right there, man. He showed us the magic trick. He showed us the formula, man. He showed us the power right there, baby. Singularity of thought, singularity of focus, singularity of desire. Oh my goodness, if this thing right here, this thing between these two ears, if this thing could ever just decide on one thing, how powerful you would be. But if you're like me for many years, and I'm still learning and growing and evolving, and if you're like many other people out there, millions across this world, singularity is just not something that we operate in. We're divided. We're this way Monday, we're that way on Tuesday, we're this way on Wednesday, we're that way on Thursday. Where can you find a person that is singular in thought, singular in focus? You find that person, they are a very powerful individual. God is able to do amazing things through that individual because they're not divided. When you are divided, you cannot stand. You will fall. That is the formula for failure. That is the formula for failure, division of any kind. That's why we're seeing it in our country, right? Some of our Christians say the devil is busy. Yep, that's why we see the divide in our country. That's why we're not going anywhere as we should be going as a country, as a nation, as a world, as a society, right? As humanity, because we're always dividing ourselves. This is a side note project right here. This a whole side. I got all off the slide, guys, but I think it needed to be said. Someone needs to hear it. That's the only reason that I'm sharing it, right? I just opened myself up to say it. But guys, singularity of thought, right? Singularity of thought. Clear the clutter. The clutter has you divided, and that's why you keep stopping. That's why you keep stopping, right? Your energy, you only got so much energy, and you keep depleting, you keep dividing it out. You keep dividing it out. Oh, here, you get a little bit of my energy, you get a little bit of my energy. Oh yeah, you want some too? Okay, yeah, you can have a little bit of my energy. Oh, you want some? Fine, you can have a little bit. Oh, you need me to do that? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna give you a little bit. Okay, I mean, like, you really need me? oh, I mean, I don't have much energy left, but okay, I'll give it to you too. And then you give it, you ain't got nothing left for yourself. You ain't got nothing left for that thing that you say that you really want, because you're all divided. A little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here. And by the time you've divvied yourself out and divided your energy and divided yourself and depleted yourself and drained yourself and discouraged yourself in the process, you ain't got nothing left for yourself. So I hope that makes sense, guys. Clear the clutter, man. Clear the clutter of your brain. Clear the clutter of your area, right? And let's operate in the less is more. Let me say what up to some of these good people. Lawanda is in the building. That makes sense. Thank you so much, my sister. I appreciate that. Thank you for rocking with me this morning. She says, focus. Yes, focus power. Absolutely. Focus and finish. Lawanda says, yes. Thank you, my sister. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for rocking with me and joining me this morning. Angeline, the Big Apple, is in the building from New York, New York. She says, I agree. I accomplished a lot yesterday in 1 hour and today because of focus. Look at that. Look at that, guys. If you are still rocking with me this morning, give me a shout out. Let me know that you're in the building. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know what time it is. Let me know something. Give me a peace sign. Give me a what up, how you doing. She says, I can relate about, I can relate about to clean my office space now. There you go. Cut me off and go clean. That's right. Cut me off and go clean. I didn't say what I'm going to say. Yeah. Leave me alone. Go ahead and clean up. Go ahead and clean up. Absolutely. Go ahead and clean up. I feel you, sis. Do that. Yes. My man, Juan Morris, is in the building. Hey, man, I like that cut, brother. I like that cut. What's up, my man? I love that cut. I saw the little, I don't know if I commented. I might have commented. If I didn't comment, I'm commenting now. But I like the haircut, the growth. Yeah, man. I love it. I love it, man. Yeah, man. Thank you so much for rocking with me this morning. Thanks for tuning in. Guys, I am so excited just about sharing this information. So excited about seeing people really move forward in the things that they've been created to, right? God's given us so much inside, man, and so much is possible. And so many of these little simple things, man, like these very practical things, they just go unnoticed, they go untalked about, like they just go overlooked. And we're like frustrated, like, man, why can't I finish? Why can't I? And it's like, ain't nothing wrong with you, right? There's nothing wrong with you, right? We got to quit fault finding. We got to stop fault finding. We want to nitpick on self, right? It's like, no, man, ain't nothing wrong with you. You're just not aware of a few things. And I'm just excited about bringing awareness. I really am. It really feels good. It really does, to share out of my own experiences, to share with you guys on Saturdays, to really chop it up with you guys. Because listen, guys, we need one another, right? We need one another, man. I need you just as much as you need me, right? And really, my hope is that within these moments, within this our space on Saturdays, and with really any of my content, that just one thing be said, one thing be shared, one idea be communicated, that will just add to it, right? That will just add to your learning, add to your growth, add to your development, add to helping to produce what's possible. Yeah, man, helping to produce what's possible in your life. Angeline says, I can relate. I am cleaning up my office space too. Yes, clean that up. Yes, that's a place of productivity. Yes, clean that office space. That is a place of productivity. Yes. Juan says, ha ha ha. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm loving that cut, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I love the smile too, man. See, we need some more smiling Christians, man. More people of faith smiling and setting an example. That it's okay to be happy. It's okay to be in a good space, right? It's all right. It's okay to be in a good space, right? We all gonna have challenges, man. Challenges they're gonna always be. Man, we ain't gonna get away from them, right? So it's like, yeah, we got challenges we can acknowledge, right? Some things are not as they should be. But at the end of the day, man, it's like, what are you gonna do? what are you going to do? Right? You always have an option. We can't, what they say, we can't control what happens to us, but we can, but we can control what happens through us, right? We can control our response. And based on our response, then that's the experience that we have, right? So we can regulate our experiences, right? We don't always get it right. We miss the mark, right? We all do. Life hits us sometimes really hard, and it really freaking hurts. And then we can be real about that. Like, man, this one really hurts. And we can go through that, right? But at the same time, when you experience joy and peace and happiness, don't be ashamed of that, right? Every morning I wake up with joy. Not that I don't go through anything, but God is so freaking good. He really, really is. Like, joy literally comes in the morning. He literally wakes me up with joy. And I don't want to pretend like I'm sad or depressed. When I'm going through something, I'll be 100 with you. I'm going through something. If I'm having a challenge, I'm having a challenge. Ain't no shame in this game. Why? Because we all got it. We all got junk. We all got stuff. But at the same time, if you got joy, like my man Juan put that smile, oh man, that boy that was smiling from ear to ear. I loved it because that's an expression. I see God's glory on Juan. I see God's love, right? That's God expressing himself through him, man. That's a joy. That's an unspeakable, right? That's a peace that goes beyond our understanding. We don't just get that just because we live in, or just because something happened that was good. That's an unshakable, unbreakable, right? That's a state in which we just abide in because of his presence and because of our relationship with him, right? Why am I preaching this morning? Why am I going down this path this morning? Anyway, somebody needed to hear it. Somebody needed to hear it. That's why. I'm a quick question and everything. My man Juan says, singularity of thought has been a focus of mind all my life. See, that's what's up. Listen, guys, I ain't even front. Juan is a world-class photographer. World-class. If you guys have ever gone to iAMthepossible.com, if you've ever gone to iAMthepossible.com, which is my website, and you see those pictures, right? Those are Juan Morris, baby. I don't know if he can do work in different cities and states and if he travels or not, right? I don't know if I could put you out there like that, brother, especially with the COVID and everything, man. But listen, you want some real work done. You want some God-blessed photography. You want some anointed photography. You want some, oh my God, did he really capture that photography? If you want some, he sees something that nobody else can see photography, then that's my man right there. See, the fact that he is singular in his thought, the fact that that's been something of value to him, it's no wonder his photos are off the charts. That's a testimony right there. That's a testimony. I wasn't even prepared for that. But to now piece the puzzle together, now I see why he's so good at what he does and why he has such joy at what he does. When I think about photos, that's my go-to. When I think about capturing moments, that's my go-to. When you guys see professional photos on my website, on social, all these different, that's my go-to right there. My man Juan Morris. It's just, it's so evident. It like bleeds through the photos. But now I see why, because he is singular. He understands what he wants. He understands who he is. He understands what he does. And I can promise you, if you guys share what you guys do, and that's been your thing as well, then it's going to show through. It's going to shine through, because that singularity creates concentration and focus. And that focus and concentration creates power. And that power moves the needle. That power changes the game. It's the game changer, guys. My man Juan says, thank you. No, thank you, man, for being the contribution that you are. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for being what you are. Thank you for being an expert. Thank you for being one of expertise, one of excellence, right? One who does what God has given him to do with a high standard of excellence. And when that product is done, you're happy with it. I've never been unhappy with anything that Juan has ever created. I've never been. I can testify to that. I've never looked at it and said, yeah, he could have done better. I've always looked at it and said, wow, how did he get that one? Well, not a couple months. Last month, if you guys caught my photo where I was celebrating my ordination, I think my ordination paper, I think it's that one right there in the background. April 11th, every year, I post the same picture. Every year, April 11th, I post the same picture. And I put the same kind of wording, right? Because nothing's going to really change, right? I'm just grateful for, the years where I've been blessed to be God's, shepherd and to pastor. And so that picture, that photo, that's Juan right there. He captured it, man. Hands being laid on a brother and the, men of God surrounding me and, the bishop laying on of the hand from the bishop. Have my wife right there, have my good brothers around me, right? And Juan, pow, I wasn't even aware of it. But Juan keeps showing up in the right positions. He keeps showing up in the right places. I'm about to preach. But see, that singularity of thought, that singularity of mind, he keeps showing up in the right place. And you will too. You will too, right? Be encouraged. You will too. A sister told me that he only knows God through me. Ooh, that's fire, baby. Y'all don't know. We're about to have church. No, we're not, because we only got 2 minutes. So whatever you've been getting, that's been church. I'm not about to start preaching. I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it because I only got 2 more minutes. All right. I'm gonna stick to my time. But that's fire right there. That's fire. What they say, Jesus, sometimes you are the only one. You are the only one they get to see. He said, a sister told me that he only knows God through me. Maybe she only knows God through me. Look at that, man. Look at that. In the right place, in the right time, showing up. Singularity of thought, singularity of mind. If that ain't enough right there to tell you, because see, that didn't come from me. See, I'm the one with the PowerPoints and the YouTube videos and the broadcast, yada, yada, yada. But my man showed up on the scene and just told you, this is how I roll my whole life. And then look at the fruits, right? Look at what he's been able to accomplish. Look at the reputation that he's established. The name, his name is synonymous. You ask anybody in our church, you ask anybody that he's worked with, now his name is synonymous with excellence and high quality photography, a trusted name in the photography game. I can't preach nothing better than that because that's a testimony. That's real life. And so it will be, and so it is with you when you have singularity of mind. All right, guys, let me recap really quick before I get up out of here. Let me share with you guys my screen one more time. I think it's this one. Yep, let me share. Let me just recap. I think I can recap if I go back. How do I start this? Let me previous. Man, should have done this before. All right, here we go. Step number 1 this week, guys. We are looking at here. Let me enlarge it. All right. If you're just now joining me, this is the recap. The recap of today's lessons. All right, cool. All right, here we go. All right, guys. Master your matrix of meanings. Okay, step number 1. If you are struggling with getting the job done, our series, this is part 2 of the series, how to finish what you start. If you are struggling with finishing the job, step number 1 that we shared and we chopped it up, go back and watch it from the beginning. Master your matrix of meanings. We associate, we assign, and we adopt meanings for things. Nothing is inherently good or bad. We assign it a meaning, and based on the meaning that we assign it, we will then experience that thing in that way. That's why you can have a cup that is half empty, but someone else believes that it's half full. Same result, 2 different realities. Okay. Number 2, set your daily deadlines, right? We talked about focusing your power, Daniel San. We watched a video of one of my favorite movies, Karate Kid. I'm also a Rocky fan, so I just love the underdog stories because I'm an underdog, and I have definitely been won by God's grace to overcome great challenges in my life, and I continue to overcome them through daily deadlines, not giving myself a whole bunch of time, but really shrinking it down. And we shared 15-minute increments. Give yourself a 15-minute timer, put it to your goals, and do as much as you can within those 15 minutes, and you will see things radically improve and radically change in the area of productivity. Number 3, last and final. Yeah, that's the word for it. Last and final. Clear the clutter, guys. Hack away, as Bruce Lee says. Hack away at the non-essential. So, you guys, if you know anything about Bruce Lee, you know he is universally known probably as the greatest martial arts individual ever, right? If not in the top 3, right? But you know what he was able to accomplish. You know that name. It's a household name. And he became a household name because he practiced getting away from the non-essentials, those things that just don't matter, that clutter the space, that just take up room, that just take up time, that take up energy and drains you and just confuses you guys. So, guys, those are our 3 for today. I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing. That's it. That's it. I am past my time. It is 8:02. It is time for me to roll. I'm gonna end with this last. I'm gonna end with this last one because I want to acknowledge everybody. If you rock it with me, I want to acknowledge you. I ain't gonna pass you up. Nope. I want to acknowledge you. Cozy is in the building. What's going on, Cozy? She says, "Good morning, Travell. Yes, I was focused on painting my hallway and my steps yesterday. Today, I'm gonna start on another room." Hey, man, feel good. Feel good. It looks great. All right. Feeling good. It looks great. Awesome. And have a blessed day. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. She says everything, the Saturday energy. Yes, yes, yes. Want to bring that good energy on Saturdays. All right, guys. Thank you so much for rocking with me. If you're live or on the replay, as I always say, I want to end even with this, that your presence is the greatest present that you guys could ever give me. I want to remind you guys just of your value, man. Listen, what you have always been is why you will always matter. Yep, take that one home, put it in your back pocket. What you have always been. That's right. Mr. What you have always been is why you will always matter. That's right. Mr. What, man, what you are, what God has created you to be and what he has created you as, right? That's something that you cannot get away from, is what you are inherently, and your value right there is wrapped up right there. Booyah. So that means you are inherently, it is woven within the fabric of your DNA. You cannot get away from significance. You cannot get away from value. You cannot get away from worth. We need you in this world. So you truly, truly are what's possible. I love you guys. I'm praying for you guys, believing in you guys. Go out there, have an amazing Saturday. Do something good. Pay it forward. If you guys have been juiced up on this, you guys got some value from this, you guys feeling good about this, go pay that forward, man. Go love on somebody. Go big up somebody. Go share with somebody. Go help someone else feel good and great about themselves. Go help someone else accomplish their goals, their dreams. Go and help somebody. Pay it forward. Do something for someone else. Let this be a chain of love. Let it start with you. Move out into the world. Sow a seed. Do something. Share something. Say something. Be something for somebody. By doing so, you are being the contribution that you were created to be. Yes, a contribution to the betterment of our society. That is what each and every one of us is. And we get the blessed privilege to do so until God calls us to the other side, where we'll continue to do it in a whole new way. I'm looking forward to it. I love you guys. I'm out. Peace.